Hi Virgo, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celt crossword as always, and also pulled the Four Agreements, Wisdom of the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright, well, we have two, and second house energy for you guys is Libra. And generally speaking, second house relates to possessions, self-worth, finances. We're going to have a Mercury retrograde that starts out in Libra in September and actually moves back toward your sign. So definitely some significance there. We have Pluto, and Pluto is actually in Capricorn, has been for quite some time now, and that's actually your fifth house of romance, creativity, children. And we have Aries, so eighth house energy for you guys. We have Jupiter retrograde there. Chiron's been there for quite some time too. Eighth house energy could point to death, rebirth, intimacy, investments, taxes. So could definitely be a focus around finances for sure this month. But we'll get started with the main situation. All right, so main situation, we have the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Wands. And then challenging that, we have the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. So the first thing that comes to mind looking at these energies here, really what I'm seeing is you guys possibly coming forward to extend an apology to someone, possibly a family member or just someone that you deal with a lot in your home environment. So it could just be someone you're really close to, a romantic partner, family member, like I said, just a close friend. But the way I'm seeing this is they could have seen you struggling with something, right? And maybe they offered to help you in some way. But I feel like you might have been a little bit snappy toward them when they made that offer, right? Because in your mind, I feel like you didn't necessarily want to be seen like you were collaborating on something. I feel like you wanted to really do whatever this was by yourself, So I feel like you had that singular focus in your mind, like, no, I want to get this done on my own without someone else helping, right? But so that in itself is fine. But I just feel like when they offered to help you, you might not have conveyed that message in the best way, right? So that's what I'm seeing with that. But yeah, if it's not that you're working on anything in particular, this could just be saying in general. Looks like you guys might be ready to actually extend an apology to someone. Like I said, I'm primarily picking up on it as family, but could be almost anyone. And it could be something that's been long overdue as well. So maybe this is someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. All right, in the foundation position, you have the Six of Wands. So this is Leo energy here, which for you guys is your 12th house. 12th house points to spirituality, blind spots, mental health. So seeing this here calls me back to what I was saying there. So I do feel for a lot of you, there was some goal you were working on, right? And you had this idea in your mind that when you accomplish this goal, you'll be celebrated for it, right? Looking at the artwork here. So that's why I feel like you guys were resistant to anyone helping you, right? Because you wanted to stand on that. Like, nope, I did this all alone. I did it by myself. I achieved this by myself, right? So I feel like it was one of those things where you're very much in that solo type energy, wanting to push through with a goal on your own. And because of that singular focus, especially given, like I said, for you guys, Leo energy is the 12th house, I feel like you might not have been aware as to how that was impacting those around you. So you might have had the best intention around it, right? Like, hey, why would I want you to help? It's just going to take away from your time, right? From your resources. I can do this on my own, right? But you might not have realized that for them, they really were doing out of the kindness of their heart and seeing that you really were struggling with this thing, right? And again, like I said, I feel like there was a lack of clarity around you communicating to them, hey, it's really important that I do this on my own, right? I feel like you might have just been a little bit snippy toward them when they tried to help. All right, past energy, we have the Hermit. So yeah, this is actually the major arcana card for your sign. So yeah, like I said, you could have just been very internally focused, right? Just really focusing on this goal of yours and really with that singular focus, not really necessarily even interacting much with their environment, right? So that could have been part of what it was too. People might have been like, "Hey, Virgo, we haven't heard from you in a while. Everything good, right?" And you might have even just been a little bit snippy around that because you just had such a heavy focus on a goal of yours that you were working on. All right, present position, we have the Tower. So I really do feel like for a lot of you, this might have already happened as far as that. I feel like it could have been during the full moon in Aquarius that we had recently, especially because for you guys, that's your sixth house. That's the house you guys are naturally rulers of. So I feel like that might have impacted you quite a bit because it was an intense full moon. So it could just be one of those things where maybe you come to that realization, right? Whatever came to play during that full moon, maybe you realize that, oh, okay, this might have been how I was coming across in this situation, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing with that. For some of you, this could still be something that's coming up. I don't necessarily see it that way though, because the energies aren't really going to be all that volatile, all things considered, for September. Well, the Mercury retrograde, of course, could be a little tricky given that you guys are ruled by Mercury, but I don't see anything super heavy for September. All right, near future position, we have Judgment and Temperance. So yeah, Judgment energy I usually view as Scorpio energy. So of course, Scorpio is associated with death, rebirth. They have the death card, of course, which is obviously Scorpio. I view this as the rebirth side of the energy. And so for you guys, Scorpio is your third house communication. So to me, this screams out during the Mercury retrograde, right? You'll have that chance for a do-over. And given that Temperance is that fourth house energy, this is another indicator that for me, for a lot of you, this is going to be a family connection that you're going to be repairing. Like I said, it could just be someone that you're close to that could be like family, right? So doesn't have to necessarily be a blood relative. I feel like this is someone that you've known for quite some time. And I do feel like this is just saying that the timing could be right to actually work on repairing that connection. And you will be given the opportunity to do so. Right. The influence, on your influence in the situation, we have the Ten of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here. So for some of you, could just be saying that maybe that's why you are able to clear this up, right? Maybe you have finally reached that goal of yours, and now that you have reached that goal of yours, right, you're out of the dark now, like, okay, I was just so singularly focused with those blinders on getting this goal accomplished. Now I've gotten it accomplished, right? And then maybe that helps you when you look up, you look around and realize, okay, yeah, I might have some damage control to do here. But overall, it does look like you're in a position of happiness. And like I said, maybe this is, at the very least, this is you trying to restore happiness in the situation. So like I said, if there was a family conflict or something that's gone on for a while, this could be you guys saying, okay, let me repair that connection. All right. In the environment position, we have the world. So nothing else could just be saying that the timing was right for this to happen, right? We see the fixed sign energies on this card. And of course, we're at the time of recording this, we're still basically, we just wrapping up Leo season. So could just be pointing to that, saying that during those energies, especially given that Leo energy is 12th house energy for you guys, that might have just been one of those things where you might have actually seen things from a different perspective. Like I said, for a lot of you, I feel like it might have been during that Aquarius full moon that we had recently, where you got a different perspective on things, realize how you might not have been seeing the situation fully clearly in the past, and now because of that, you could be learning from it and going to repair situations around that. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Ace of Swords. So, yeah, for a lot of you, I feel like this is just saying that you're hoping to clear the air, right? So, like I said, okay, coming to the realization around what you were working on, and possibly how you might have come across because you were just so heavily focused on it, right? How you might have impacted those around you, and actually working toward fixing that. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Strength card, Leo energy, and the Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy. So yeah, I feel like this is calling back to the World card, which is to say that you might still feel that tendency in you, right? So I feel like you might learn through this situation, and it's not that that part of you is going to die, right? But more of now you'll understand, like, the cause and effect, right? Like, okay, if we look at that line as representing ego, right? Where you might be like, no, I could do this, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to do it on my own. Like I said, with that Six of Wands there in the foundation, it could just be saying that it was a bit of an ego-driven thought on your mind. So when it comes to things like that, maybe that's just something that you'll come across in the future. But with that strength card there, we see her holding back, right? The lion, which again could represent the ego, with the remembrance that, hey, if I let that energy get out of control, right, it could lead to a Five of Pentacles situation, right, where, okay, maybe you're causing damage to your relationships, right, friendships, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I'm seeing with that. So I feel like, again, this is just showing that there was the growth there, and you've learned from the situation to where you're like, okay, yep, learned around that, especially given that Taurus energy is ninth house energy for you guys too, which is philosophy, higher learning. So could just be saying that, all right, yep, I learned cause and effect around that situation, and now when I feel that energy coming up, right, I'm going to understand that, okay, I might still take the same approach as far as, no, I'm going to do this on my own, but at least I'll be better about conveying that, hey, that's what I'm going for, right? So that's what I see with that. And bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles. So Taurus energy here, another indicator of wanting to balance the scales, right? And like I said, that's ninth house energy for you guys. So yeah, could just be one of those things where when you're just so focused in on something, you might not see the bigger picture. And now, like I said, it looks like you guys might have completed something that's helping you now have that openness to the bigger picture, and maybe realizing that, oh, okay, I might not have intended this way, but this is how it might have come across, right? So one of those things. All right, so moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Take Anything Personally. It says Transform Your Life. All right, and let's see. It says, when you refuse to take things personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your feelings of anger, jealousy, and even your sadness will simply disappear if you don't take things personally. So yeah, pretty solid advice there, especially as we're going into, again, like we said, a Mercury retrograde, right, where there could be some miscommunications. It looks like for some of you, you're actually learning from a miscommunication situation of your own as well. So there's that. Your Wisdom of the Oracle card is flexible. There's the artwork and the number is 19, so we'll see what that has to say. Okay, it says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The Oracle's message. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, and seems to fit the theme of what we were talking about. The relationship message says, in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So yeah, again, a pretty positive message there as well. I didn't get like it was a huge one-to-one relationship vibe. Like I said, it really came out to me more as a family connection first. But like I said, if you think about fourth house matters, that could just be someone who's in your everyday environment. And of course, in the more serious relationships, that could definitely point to a romantic partner in certain situations. All right, the prosperity message says, even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. So yeah, like I said, it definitely looked like you guys did have a very, very much a locked-in singular focus in the past. It looks like you've come into a realization of how that might have hindered you in some ways, right? So that could be what that's pointing to there as well. So hopefully that resonated. All right. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Pralamba mudra, and the keyword for it is benevolence. Okay. And it won't focus. There we go. All right. So, under benefits, it says opens the heart, calms the spirit, awakens feelings of devotion and compassion, benefits the cardiovascular system by lowering blood pressure, reduces anxiety, weakens ego grasping. So, if that sounds like a mudra thing to be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description video as always. Once again, happy birthday, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.